Hey, Don.
Hey, Jacob.
Tell me your deepest, darkest, most intimate secrets.
How about maybe just like some photography secrets instead?
It could be both. Some of them might be the same.
Maybe we'll just stick to photography this time.
Haven't we done this before?
2 times before.
Ooh, so this is number 3?
Part 3.
3? All right, so let's just go right off the bat. More
Okay.
secrets. People like the secrets.
Yes. So they're like secrets / tips / like...
Yeah.
That camera just went out.
Uh-oh. I replaced the battery.
Is the card full?
No, it says it has an hour and 50 minutes left. Yeah.
It said sensor cleaning and then it turned off.
Yeah, it's on right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fun.
That was exciting.
This is the one I'm recording, isn't it?
We'll mix it up. Do
Good eye.
you want to start over?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
Unless you want to start over.
No, you're the one who has to edit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were talking about world's greatest freestyle divers. Secrets.
No. Yes. Photography secrets. So, like, they're kind of like tips. They're like things that happen in our brains that we follow that, you know, you might not find written in a book anywhere about, like, how to do photography. Yes, it's important to use the Lego variety.
That's a tip.
So yeah, just things that we do that have kind of become second nature that we thought we could share.
Tip number 1, iron your shirts. I don't know why this is so wrinkly.
Actually, tip number 1 is buy work clothes that don't require any ironing
This
whatsoever.
is true. Black.
Like every single one of the dresses that I used to work in, I could crumple them in a ball and they would still look exactly the same.
Gross.
No. But I'm just saying.
A big
I ain't
sweaty
got time
ball.
for that.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, so I'll start. So one of the secrets is to have a routine for like downloading your cards, charging your batteries.
Yes.
Like everything that happens between when you get back from a shoot and when you leave for the next one.
Explain.
So I have a little cart where all of my battery chargers live. So when I get home, well, actually, let me start in my bag.
Let's go.
I have a pouch in my bag for my full camera batteries. And then I have another pouch where my full speedlight batteries are, and a separate area where the 8200 batteries are. So when my speedlight batteries and camera batteries need to be charged, they go in the opposite pouch. So I know that those are the ones that need to get charged.
Okay.
Instead of having all 6 of them, like having to test all of them on the charger. And then my 8200 batteries, I just put them all on the charger every time anyway. So that's step 1. So then when I get back, I put them all on chargers, and if I need to charge more than the chargers that I have, it goes on the cart as like they're waiting their turn to be rotated in. And then my other step to it is that I do not close my camera bag until all of my batteries are in the bag. Like if anything has, like I just don't zip it until everything's in there. And that's my cue that like if I'm about to leave and it's still open, that means I need to grab whatever is still on the charger.
Nice.
So that's my like battery routine.
What about at the job? You're done, you're in your car. Do you put everything away? Or do some people just throw it in there and they're like, I'll figure it out when I get home?
No. When I get when I get to my car from a job, actually not even to my car.
Even though we want to leave, right? We want to leave so bad.
No, because I wheel my whole camera bag everywhere, that means before I can even walk to my car, I need to break everything down anyway.
Correct.
So all the batteries go in their spots where they need to go. I do leave my cards in my camera until I'm home.
Me too.
I remember when I first started working for the freelance company we worked for, she always had the owner had a card wallet that she would put everything in. She's like, how do you ever like not lose track of things? And I was like, I don't take them out of my camera.
Yeah.
I don't
lose my camera.
Yeah.
So I don't lose the cards.
I don't take my cards out of my camera until I'm back home and ready to download.
Yeah.
So.
I'm pretty much exactly the same. Of course we are. Same person. I have outside my back door, we have a kind of like a table, I don't know what you call it, like a built-in desk table thing. And within there is a charging station. Everything goes there immediately. I keep my Same with my 8200 batteries. Like I actually have them in my camera bag. I have a section for just those batteries because I have multiple. And when I get home, the 8200 batteries go onto the chargers, and then I actually put the new ones that were in that section of into the camera. So like they're ready to go that night. Same thing with my camera batteries. I have them in their own pouch, and they go into a secondary pouch when they're decharged. What do you call it? They're out of battery, out of juice. Those go to the charger, and then I always put a new one immediately in. And I'm actually paranoid enough usually that I put a new memory card, both memory cards, in my camera that day. Even if I don't have a shoot coming up, I just do it because I'm already there. I'm already putting everything away at home. I just kind of have it ready to go in that moment.
That's a good tip.
Yeah. I format it. I do everything. So if like I needed to go in 2 hours, I'd be ready to go.
Yeah. I'm very rarely at a place where I couldn't just grab my bag and go.
Yep.
Like grab my bag, take everything off the cart, and I would be fine. But
yeah. And I just realized too is like I never thought about this subconsciously, but I also don't zip up my bag until I actually don't even zip it up until like I'm about to leave. So I know that one last check.
I only do it like if I have an early job the next morning, I will go through and I will count all my batteries. I will check for the memory card. I will open both of my cameras, make sure they have 2 cards, full batteries, and then zip it up. And then I'll move it in the house to like closer to my carport door so that I know that it's been checked and it's ready to go and I don't have to think about it in the morning. But yeah, that does not get zippered at any point until it is
ready to go. What about your memory card routine?
That's a little more
I mean, we talked about this before, but
basically I download, then it goes in my safe, and I replace it in the camera with a new one.
What if you can't download? It's rare, but what if you really cannot download that night for whatever reason? Like you have a quick turn or something.
The whole camera goes in the safe.
Yeah.
If I can't download it right away, I just stick the whole camera in, or I'll just pop the cards out. Like I have a little inside my safe. I have a little box that like the do not touch these cards live. So a few of the cards that are in there are like backups of very important things, like when my sister gave birth. I have those cards, or those images still on the memory card. I'm never going to touch them because that's like such a special thing that I don't want to risk ever losing it. So I have it backed up a million ways. And then I would put like not downloaded cards there too so that I know that they need to be taken care of still. But
I'm telling you, you get a routine. Seriously, it'll save your butt so many times, and you have to stick with it and do the same thing every time. Because I'm sure you've been at a job in your younger days where you have left something and you're just like,
you my worst
that's
memory
kind of the
card.
point of this podcast.
So my sister and I were going to Discovery Cove. This was probably 10 years ago. And I was all excited because I have a GoPro and I had the waterproof housing, because this is like before the GoPros were natively waterproof. So I had the waterproof case and I was like, yeah, this is going to be so cool. Get to Discovery Cove, and guess who didn't put a memory card in her GoPro?
The same lady that didn't turn on the audio for one of our podcasts.
One and the same. And luckily, the Discovery Cove gift shop sold 4 gigabyte memory cards
for $250.
like $60. I was so pissed off. Yeah.
And none of the footage came out anyway.
No, none of it looked great.
Yeah.
But it was just, it just grinded my gears. But it was a good lesson, and I'm glad it happened on a for fun thing and not a for work thing, which I feel like it wouldn't have happened for a for work thing because I have a routine. But it has happened like when we have jobs at Disney where we have to pick up our memory card and put it in the camera. Like it's less of our routine, right? It's their routine that we're just
that's harder
jumping in on. And so I have had times where like I haven't been there frequently enough and I just am out of the routine and I've forgotten and had to shoot the whole job on one card instead of 2 cards.
We're such creatures of habit.
We are.
But we can't miss it. You just can't. Can't forget a camera, can't forget a memory card, can't forget a battery.
I will say every once in a while.
Do you bring your battery chargers to your shoots?
So I don't, but
I do.
I have backup batteries.
That's how paranoid I am.
That have they're the ones that have like the port right on the battery and it's USB-C, and I bring a power bank.
All right.
So if I was like really in a pinch, I have those. So I have 6 camera batteries plus those 4, I think. So if I really had to, I have those 4 fully charged, but I could also rotate plugging them into the power bank.
I've never needed it once, but I bring it every time.
I think I don't bring it because I'm just too worried I would lose it. Or I would leave it on because it's not a normal thing. I would have it plugged in somewhere and I'd forget it and then lose the battery and the charger.
I assumed if I did, I would plug it in and put my bag
in it, like under it.
Yeah, so there's no way I could miss it. Because I see videographers, obviously they go through batteries like candy, and they're always plugging stuff. They got batteries.
Finding any outlet anywhere.
You go to the reception, there's like videographer batteries.
All over the place. That's true. It's true.
All right, what's next?
Okay.
You do this.
You pick one.
You want me to pick one?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with this one that I actually learned from Bill Watkins. Shout out Bill Watkins.
Hey.
And
Bill used to be one of the photographers at Disney.
Yeah, it looks like Santa Claus. We're going to have him as a guest, don't worry. So this is such a simple thing that you don't think of, but when you need to change an exposure fast, especially when you were learning and you didn't really know necessarily what aperture meant or what the relationship was, it's going to sound dumb, but say you go from 4.5 to 5.6, right? What is that? 2 clicks? So you're clicking right, or whatever way it goes to 5.6. So now, obviously, you have darkened your exposure.
Right, assuming your exposure was good to start with.
Yes.
But you needed to change your aperture because let's say there's more people in your picture.
It's a group photo or something. So what do you do to change it? Okay, well, you don't want to change your shutter speed because you can't for whatever reason. So then what about your ISO to match it? You just click it 2 clicks the other way. So literally count your clicks. I've done that like when I needed to go to like F14. Now, I mean, I guess I don't count as much anymore. It's just kind of second nature.
You kind of like can feel it how far you're going.
But in the old days when I was starting, it's exactly what I do. I just count my clicks. I was like, okay, I opened up 2 spots on my aperture, so I need to go the other way on my shutter speed, and I would just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That literally is exactly what it is. Yeah, that is all photography right there.
And there's one caveat. Because if you change, like if you're using off-camera flash, that might change things because a higher ISO and a wider aperture will impact how much the flash is impacting your picture. But
just
for the most part,
just base exposure.
Yeah, I feel like I do that if I'm like, say I was shooting available light, but then I was like, I can't do this. I need to add flash, but my shutter speed was too high. And I didn't want to shoot in high-speed sync. Lower the shutter speed, raise the aperture, or lower the ISO, whichever one fit for the scenario. But yeah, just count your clicks.
Count your clicks.
There you go, Bill Watkins.
Yeah, shout out Bill Watkins.
I learned that from him too. Okay, so another one. Never, never, never. Never, 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 never. Which, this is also from Bill Watkins, let's be honest.
Probably.
Change the brightness of your LCD screen to anything more than 0. And most of the times, don't even go above, like, don't even stay at 0. Go to, like, -1 or -2. But...
This is the LCD on the back of your camera. Or in your viewfinder.
Right. So if you're looking at that and you have the brightness bumped up to 5, what you're seeing on the back of the camera is not... what your image looks like. And if you're relying on that as you're shooting, like if you don't rely on that, if you're using your meter in your camera or like whatever,
you should be looking at your histogram.
Like there are a number of things you could be using that are much more reliable than the back of the camera. Yeah. But if you're using the back of the camera to indicate to you how your exposure looks, you cannot bump up your LCD. I'm in a ton of photography books on Facebook. That's basically all I use Facebook for now is like family birthdays and photography groups.
That sounds awful.
And there is a person that posted 5 pictures that basically looked like she took them in the middle of the night in a field somewhere with no light whatsoever. You could just barely see like tiny little wisps of light. And she was like, I don't understand. These look good on the back of my camera. And I was like,
honey,
they could not. So don't do that.
Don't do it.
I remember when I was training people at Disney, we used to tell them they had, because it was like the Nikon training class.
Yeah.
And we told them they had to leave it at -1. They weren't allowed to
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
And use your histogram. But even then, still start. Because sometimes we are quick and you'll be look at it real quick and you should not be anything but... Oh, what's up, Odessa? Shout out Odessa, Florida. What was I saying? Who knows?
We need do not disturb.
Probably. It could be important. It could be a photography job.
Okay. So yeah, don't bump up the brightness on your LCD screen.
Leave it as is or lower it just 1 or 2.
And if you're out in the sun and you're like, oh, but I can't see it, just walk into the shade or turn your body so your body's
really not hard to do this.
Like, just don't. That's all. What's next?
I don't know. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
This one is I don't say it's necessarily like it's a must do, but for me it is a must do. And I don't know where it comes from, but I just feel like it's not rude, but I feel like it's just some sort of respect. Is when I'm shooting a wedding and a ceremony, I will never walk in front of the parents in the front row.
Unless it's an emergency.
As in, like, you will see me, like, I will be shooting maybe the groom from this side, and then I will walk all the way around to this side and then photograph the bride from that side.
Or if you're trying to get views of parents.
Yeah.
But yeah, same thing. I will walk all the way around. And when I say, except when there's an emergency, that emergency is you don't know the officiant and you don't know their routine and you've walked all the way around and suddenly he asked for the rings.
Yes.
And you don't have time to
or
walk
like,
all the way back.
I now pronounce you husband-wife kiss.
Right, exactly. Those are the emergencies we're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Very rarely, though, because it's just, I've seen, like, as a second, when I started as a second, you could see, like, I'd see photo and video walking in front of them, sometimes standing in front of them, and you could see the parents, like, look at each other, get kind of mad, do this thing, like, hello. It's just let them have this is a big moment for them. They're on the front row. They have the best views. Leave the views for them.
And honestly, I try not to block anyone.
Anyone, of course.
Like, yes, I'll be in the middle aisle, but, like, I try not to be in the line of sight during the ceremony.
But even, like, the simple just walking in front of them to get to the middle of the aisle where you're not even stopping, it's still just, I don't know. It gives me the ick, and I don't do it. So take it as a secret or don't do it. You can do whatever you want, but...
I agree. I remember when I was in grad school, my roommate was getting married, and she had a photo and video team, so there were 4 people there. And this is before I was doing photography, so this was just from a guest perspective. Not a single person in the room could see them cut their cake because all 4 of them basically made a semicircle around
the wall.
them.
You did the Game of Thrones wall.
And you could only see the backs of the photographers and the videographers. Like, you couldn't see anyone else.
Yeah.
So I guess kind of piggybacking off of that, obviously as the photographer, like, you're going to have to be in front of them. But even if you have one photographer, one videographer, there should still be potential that other people could see what's going on.
Right.
So I guess it's kind of a tip for, like, when you're the second, don't, like, if the photographer is already blocking a view for the guests, you don't need to be also blocking. You should be totally from a different angle.
Get their hands from the side. Get
exactly.
the back of the cake. Do that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. And even with, like...
We've said this before, but a professional photographer, I always say, is very aware of their surroundings. The true mark between when I see a professional and an amateur is they know where they are at all times and they stand for a reason. Like, when they're standing somewhere, it's for 100% reason. They know why they're there.
Yeah.
And that kind of piggybacks about not walking in front of parents and grandparents.
Yeah. Okay, so another one I was going to bring up is just some tips and, like, things to think about when you're using off-camera lighting and your trigger on your camera things aren't working properly. Either your lights are firing when they shouldn't be, or they're not firing when they should be. And so a couple of things. One, check your channels. Make sure your lights and your trigger are all on the same channel. And then if there's anyone else in the area that could be on the same channel as you, check for that. So, like, sometimes when we're in parties, the photo booth will also be using Godox lights. And I always feel really bad because oftentimes the photo booth operator doesn't know anything.
No.
And so I'll be shooting and I'm like, where is all of this light coming from? And it's blasting full power on the photo booth.
And they're just like, oh, what's going on?
They don't know what's going on. And I'll be like, hey, what channel are you on? And they're like, what channel? And I have to go and like look at their lights and figure it out because they don't know what I'm talking about. So look for other things. Sometimes too, like certain equipment seems to affect certain channels, and I will not pretend to know.
These are all shared radio frequencies that you're on. So hotels could be on the frequency which is causing disturbance.
Yeah. So like just straight up change your channel.
The best thing you can do, honestly, though, it's the higher channels. Everyone will start at 1, 2, 3. Go to channel 28. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody on no channel 28.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. I had a fun time once where I was shooting at Epcot and my light just kept firing when I wasn't shooting. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And I came to find out that one of our colleagues was also shooting at Epcot on the other side of the lake. And we happened to be on the same channel. And we didn't figure it out, until it was well into our shoot, what the heck was happening. And then, when in doubt, take it off your camera, blow on it like a Nintendo game, rub it on your pants a little bit.
Turn it off, turn it back on.
Yep.
This is like any other computer. It works.
Yeah. So just some little secrets.
Okay.
Okay.
I have one, and this may refer to me and my style, but I like to try and keep up on pop culture references as much as possible. And this is going to sound weird, like why? Because unfortunately, Don and I keep getting older.
We do.
The bride and grooms are staying the same age.
Very rudely.
But we are getting older. You much older than me, but still older. And you know me, I like to tell jokes. I like to be referencing pop culture. Mm-hmm. And I have found as I got older, the stuff that I grew up with doesn't land anymore. People don't know what Friends is.
Yeah.
That's why our podcast has 12 subscribers.
I know. Wait, but it does appeal to the right audience.
That's fair. People are starting not to know what The Office is anymore. Mm-hmm. Office jokes aren't flying. So, like, you don't have to obviously watch this new stuff, but just knowing, just go through your Instagram reels for 10 seconds and you'll see what's popular and you'll get algorithm something. Because I was on a wedding the other day and there's a new show about a girl that has Tourette's. Mm. Yeah, it's on. I've never seen the show. It's on the Learning Channel or Discovery or something. Mm. She's like 20 something years old, and it's just her going around. She has Tourette's and says inappropriate things. And I said one of her lines just kind of randomly, and the bride's like, "Oh my god, I love that show." And we clicked. Mm-hmm. I have never seen the show. I couldn't tell you anything about it. I was just algorithm this one time. This girl saying, one of her little catchphrases. She may be faking it for all I know.
Yeah. The TLC.
There's
very reputable.
There's a whole online community because the bride's telling me like, yeah, some people think she's faking it. There's a whole conspiracy theory.
Oh
I was
my gosh.
But again, we connected on something that I had no business being connected with. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to. Yes. But it does help to just at least keep up to date. Mm-hmm. Luckily, like with music, we tend to be, because we're just there, we get to hear the songs. Mm-hmm. Like,
I will never forget the day we were doing a bar mitzvah and the Chapel Roan song came on, and we were like, what is this?
But I still feel like we heard about her before anyone else, though.
We were still...
It was us and 13. Even the 13-year-olds were like, what?
Yeah.
So, again, you don't have to, but if you want to keep, at least in my style, where I'm very jokey and kind of use that humor, I have to keep up to date on at least what's going on in the pop culture world. Mm-hmm.
And then along those same lines, the everlasting version of self-deprecating humor also works.
That's what I'm the best at.
It is like, I don't know, I feel like it just loosens everybody up.
If you make fun of yourself, people will be so relaxed. They're like, oh, he's not like...
Yeah, if you're not taking yourself too seriously... Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I make fun of myself constantly. Mm-hmm. Like if I like fall, I will say about it. I'll be like, wow, I didn't turn my camera on. Mm-hmm. Guess it could help if I actually turned my camera on. Like,
yeah. On one of my weddings last week, the reception venue had like an outdoor terrace that connected to the lower levels. And it just happened to be where the lighting was good. I was like at the very top of the steps. And I was like, hey guys, if I go down, I'm going to keep shooting. Make sure you laugh. Like, because it was very likely I was going to fall down the stairs anyway. But, yep.
Good stuff. I always say, like, if I'm about to go somewhere kind of like wonky to stand on or up high, where like if I fall, I'm always like, just avenge my death. Just please remember me and avenge my death.
All right, you have one more.
Do I?
You wanted to talk about.
Oh yes, this is a big one. So I've been on Instagrams a few times. And like, there's a lot of cool photos that we see that are very creative. And they're showing them off like, look what I did with these tools on, like, let's say a wedding. But I'm also like, is that realistic? And this is coming from a guy who, you've seen my work,
right,
can be very creative. But I think there needs to be a difference between being creative on purpose or being creative for just the sake of being creative. Because I see a lot of these images which look stunning, but then you look at the rest of the wedding album and they're completely different. They don't match anything. And it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, I use gels and lights when appropriate to enhance what was already there or to make, you know what I mean? And sometimes you're just like adding stuff that has no business. Like we watched this one where it was in a hallway of a hotel room and they did a bunch of backlights and red lights and white lights and the photo is stunning. But then I'm like, is the rest of the wedding look like that?
Right.
Because if it doesn't, I don't know. I feel like you're just being creative. And I get that. Like we want to be creative. It helps our juices flow. It helps our brain keep going. But at a certain time, like I don't have time for that.
Right. I get caught up on this when it's a colored backlight that doesn't match
The room.
the anything. And
vibe.
Like if it's a completely boring room and you're stuck in there for something and you're doing portraits and you just need to like make it look cool, okay. Like there could be purpose for it.
Yeah.
But when there's already colors in your background and then you just add another totally random color, I don't understand it, I guess. And I do it sometimes because I like want to try it out.
Sure.
But to me, like it makes more sense if there's blue in the background, using a blue gel on a backlight to like enhance that color spill onto the back of them and like make it feel like they're more immersed. Or if it's really warm twinkle lights in the background, putting a half CTO gel on your backlight to like, so that warmth continues onto them. I fed you before this. So that warmth spills onto them. But then when it's like, you know, twinkle lights and then you use a green backlight, I'm just like, okay, it looks cool, but like.
And the one I saw too in the hallway of the
hotel.
Regular hotel, looked like just a normal hallway. My thought was like, why would you even be in there? Yeah. It wasn't even a cute, like, it'd be one thing if it was like, I've seen some bougie hotels that have some really cool, like, hallways that are like almost black hallways with red accent lights. And like, then,
No, this was like Hampton Inn
straight
hallway.
Normal hallway.
And like the sconces with the lights were in the picture too. So like, yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, I agree.
Have you ever shot at the, it's in St. Augustine, but it's that wedding reception that has a bank vault in it?
Oh, yeah.
That's the bar. Same idea there, though, where like they have an incredible lighting package, or the DJ does, or whoever it is, but like we're talking up lighting. And then I did a silhouette in the bank vault, but I used the same colors as their shot. So the light is coming out from that vault, creating this awesome look. But again, I was creative to match the whole vibe, the whole room. Yeah, they had like
pink uplights using a pink light
instead of just adding a random color that I thought, or doing something random. And sometimes I feel like the creative process is just random. And that can be cool to do it on your own time. 100% for it. Be creative. Learn what you like. Learn how things look and look good. But when you're working on a job, I don't know. It's probably, I'm sure I'm off base on this. It's just the way I feel that.
And I think it's hard to balance, because I think sometimes clients just want stuff to look cool.
Right.
Like, I feel like I run into this, not so much with like portraits or senior sessions or whatever, but with branding clients. Like, we spend all this time talking about their messaging, talking about the values of their business and blah, blah, blah. And then they show me pictures they want as inspiration. And I'm like, okay, so you're over here. Yeah. And the picture you want is way over here and tells a completely different message. And like, it's cool.
Sure, cool.
But it doesn't fit the story of your company. And so I have to have that conversation to explain why, like, just because you look good or it's cute or it's cool or different, like, it doesn't necessarily mean it fits and that it's right for you for this purpose,
And some people come back to me like, well, Jacob, you did that photo that we've shown against the space shuttle with the red. But the whole point of that was it was matching at least the engine color. Like it was supposed to be like, literally it was the engines of the ship. So like you didn't see me using that red when we did the front of the ship photos, right? So like, again, it was on purpose. And there was no red in the rest of their wedding at all. Like we didn't use red for anything else. But for that one shot, it was done on purpose because it was engines. It was red and orange. It was, supposed to be the back of it. So, but then if I use that red orange in her getting ready photos in a hotel room.
With the galaxy wall.
Yeah. We could have made it look real cool. Don't get me wrong. But that doesn't match what's actually going on. And that doesn't feel on purpose. That's just, I can be creative because I can.
Right.
We all can. But give it some purpose.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
Hate on me in the comments. Tell me I'm wrong.
Any other photography secrets for this episode? Or are we going to save them for the next one?
I think that's enough, right? Yeah, let's save some more.
We've blabbered on for long enough.
No, wait. Here's a secret. Don't blabber on so long in your podcast.
Does anyone want to let us know, like, how long do you want to sit and listen to us at a given time?
Well,
is an hour a
Are you talking
mark?
to my mom?
Do you want?
Or are you talking about our other subscribers?
Anyone. Let us know. Do you think they should be shorter, longer, good length? I don't know.
I think they're perfect.
We are perfect.
We are just what you're babbling on now.
Okay.
What'd you shoot this week? Come on.
All right. So I had my last day for not last day. I had my second to last day for headshots for the police department.
God, still doing these.
I know. And then I had an engagement session. It was a bit of a challenging one. There's quite a height difference.
I saw the photos.
Yes. The bride was like, what do you think, 7 inches taller?
Yeah.
With her heels on. Which, like, I did photos just like I would normally do. Yeah. But I did try to do some that brought them a little closer together. Just because when you're trying to be, like, intimate and, like, touch noses together and foreheads, like, if your foreheads are that far apart, it doesn't quite work. So we did some...
Shout out Short Kings.
We used some benches. We used some... I found... There's this new spot at Lou Gardens that, like, I absolutely love.
Explain.
Using the
Don't tell him. Tell me later.
The steps of the main house.
Yeah.
But shooting, like, towards
You mean the
Rose
entrance
Garden.
house? Or that house that's over by the Rose
house,
Garden?
like, the museum house. Using those front steps. So I, like, had him up on the 3rd step and she was on the 2nd step, like, resting her arm over his leg and super cute. But anyways, and then I had a branding shoot. So same client that I was working with last week, we did her final session. We were at her house for 3 hours and we did pictures of her, like, chopping veggies, making fruit platters, making smoothies, sitting by her pool, meditating, reading, journaling, working out, all the things.
Sounds classy.
We're working at the computer. So this is her, like, initial content. She's just launching her business. So it's for the website, for, like, her marketing company recommended me so they could have the images to use for social media, for everything. So super exciting. She has it currently narrowed down to 600 favorites. So we're working on...
And she gets, what, 5?
No. She has a pretty big package because she has a lot of photo package.
Oh.
Anyways.
Can I see these photos?
And then we had a mitzvah together.
We did.
So this was actually an afternoon one.
It was.
Instead of an evening one.
It was weird. We were like, okay, we're done.
I know. Well, you were done.
That's true.
I still had to go because it was an afternoon party. So we did service pictures before service. Then they had service, and then we came back for the party. But that left me wide open for another job on a Saturday night. So I had a gala to photograph after that for the San Pedro Center.
But then you gotta go to Epic Universe.
Yeah.
You're gonna be so tired. Okay.
Okay. What'd you do?
So because you had a dumb engagement session, I got to photograph I don't even know how this came about. Basically, a VIP tour at Universal Studios for a group. So a group, not Universal Studios, not affiliated, basically hired us, me, you, me. I got to shoot it at just to follow around this group as they did a VIP tour at Universal Studios.
It was one of those things when I first got the inquiry, I was like, am I getting scammed?
Yeah. Some broken English.
Yeah, because it was a company from Germany, well, a nonprofit in Germany. And it's you can tell me if I was wrong since you were with them all day, but it was basically like a wish trip.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Make-A-Wish, but not for like, I don't think
not
like.
terminal.
Not terminal, but.
Yeah, but it's a nonprofit that works with kids that have a certain dermatological disease.
Dermatologicals.
And so, like, a few of the kids and their families got to have this trip to Universal.
And they were there for 3 days, but that day was, I think, their first day, maybe their second day, but that was the VIP tour. They got to go anywhere. And Universal's VIP tour also includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Did not know that. And so they hired us. And so we didn't work for Universal. We worked for the company, but in Universal's eyes, we were just a guest.
Yeah, you got a ticket. You got a VIP tour guide ticket.
Yep. And got to have breakfast, lunch, and not dinner because we were left before that. But 8 hours.
I know. I was so upset that I didn't get to do it myself. I was kind of excited to do it.
It was a lot of fun. We walked around both parks, and they could go on any ride they wanted with no waits. And I've been on Disney's VIP tours before, and Disney is, same idea, but they you just go through the Fast Pass lane or Lightning Lane line.
Yeah, every once in a while there's like a wheelchair lane that's faster than Fast Pass that you can use.
But rarely they don't even go through the exits. They usually just go through the Fast Pass line. At Universal, let me tell you something. They go through not even the exit. We're talking back doors. They take us backstage. Like at Spider-Man, we went behind, kind of over to Doctor Doom and to the right, and then went through a couple of doors that were literally just backstage that just took us to unload and then right into load. We did not go through even express lines.
Yeah.
So it was very weird. Like Mummy, we went to the right and up these literally emergency exit stairs and then just appeared at the load area.
Well, and you said they were riding some rides multiple times.
Yeah.
Like Hagrid's multiple times.
They rode Hagrid's 4 times in a row.
That's wild.
And they literally just got off and right back on.
Wow.
So I did, group photos. They did meet some characters. So we did character photos.
Oh, fun.
A lot of candids. I tried my best at them on the Hulk. I got some really great photos of them actually on the Hulk.
That's fun.
Timing it where they're on. Just things like that.
Cool.
Family photos.
I'm excited to go through and edit.
But they were German, so there was a language barrier. So it was kind of fun and awkward at the same time.
Don't worry. Jacob still made his jokes. He just used Google Translate on his phone to make his jokes.
And I got some good laughs. Some pretty good laughs. But then what's cool about their tour too is that, so it's done at 6. The tour is done at 6. You get 8 hours. And then though they give you a voucher for dinner, and then your VIP, what do you call it? Lanyard had Express Pass, unlimited Express for the rest of the day. So anything they didn't want to go, they could go ride anything. And it's unlimited Express. You just have to go through the Express line. You're not going through the exits or backstage anyway, but still.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's a pretty good deal. It was expensive.
Yeah.
The VIP, we're not saying here, but the VIP guide told me how much these things are. And
let's just say we didn't charge them enough for
We did not charge them enough.
We didn't know what the budget was.
But it was a 16-person group, and they had 2 guides, because 12 is the max per group.
Oh, right.
So once you went over, you become a second tour group, and so we had 2 guides. And they were great. They were very you want to do this. They had a plan, but it was kind of reminded me of photography. They were like, we have an idea, but what do you guys want to do?
Right. If you don't have an idea, we have a plan.
And they had lots of ideas of we're going to go do this, and then someone would stop and say, actually, we wanted to ride Doctor Doom. And they're like, nobody ever wants to ride Doctor Doom. I know. They only had a 0-minute wait already, but they did it. And then they were able to then say, okay, let's go do this now. So,
it's fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
What else did I do? I had that. I had a character on location studio. I got to photograph some special characters with some special guests. I had another convention because it is convention season.
Convention season seems real long this year.
It does. But it should be wedding season too. So it's not, there's no weddings, but there's a lot of conventions. I'll take it. Take what you can get.
Work is work.
But, convention, I do love a good boring convention where you're just taking pictures of people that don't know you and you don't know them and hi.
Good stuff.
Yeah. And then we already talked our mitzvah together, so.
So, what are we talking about for Not Photography Corner this week?
Oh, we have a good one. We're going to go over the most, and we're not going to do a top 5 or anything, but what our most overused wedding songs for anything. And we need you to comment too if you think we're right or wrong.
Yes.
We're talking first dances, regular dances, parent dances, cake cutting.
And no judgment if you've used any of these songs. Because you were only at your wedding once.
This is just what we...
This is just our commentary because...
Someone that's done 1,000... 2 of us that have done 1,000 weddings.
Right.
These are what we hear every time.
Yes. Okay, so what are some first dance songs that you hear a lot?
Ed Sheeran.
Oh,
I found a love.
I can't believe still how many people use Butterfly Kisses for like a not first dance but parent dance.
Yeah.
So many.
I struggle with like father-daughter dances. Also, what's the one? I Loved Her First. I Danced with Cinderella.
Yes.
I don't like, and this is just me. I don't like songs though that like treat her almost as property.
I was gonna say imply possession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I Loved Her First. Yeah, you're the dad. We got it, dude. Like
right.
You don't have to tell everyone like I knew her first. Yeah, like it's okay.
That's how this works.
But he's not loving her the way you did, my man. And so like don't worry about it. As someone that has a young daughter and thinks about future, right. Father-daughter dances maybe someday, it's like I don't like any of the possession stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
But yeah, it's Cinderella, Butterfly Kisses. I Loved Her First. Those are still pretty popular. Mom dances, Mom and Son. It's always the Phil Collins "You'll Be in My Heart" from Tarzan. It's always even outside of Disney.
Yes, that one gets used a lot. There's one other one that I'm blanking on. It's like a rock band.
There's Guns N' Roses, Mama.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, that one gets used a lot too.
That one's getting used a lot.
Also for just like kicking the party off after those parent dances, Uptown Funk.
Uptown Funk every time.
At least 50%. Like sometimes I could just walk in and predict the entire order of things.
Usually it gets played at some point of the night. But Whitney Houston, "I Want to Dance with Somebody," you will hear it every single wedding, no matter what.
We Are Family.
We Are Family. And even with the Whitney Houston song, though, that song is a banger, though. So
again, no judgment.
No judgment.
We're not saying
actually, like every time I hear it, I sing it. Like I get excited, but I hear it every time.
What about cake cutting?
Sugar, Maroon 5.
Okay.
Sugar.
I swear, all of mine.
Please.
It's Cake by the Ocean.
Which I'm sure I've heard it.
You have definitely heard it.
No, I know the song, but
like for cake cutting,
yeah.
It is.
Or it's Sugar, Sugar, dun 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 dun. Ah, honey, honey.
Yeah, they go real on the nose with.
Do they know what Cake by the Ocean means?
I mean, I'm assuming they do, but it just has the word cake, and we're cutting the cake.
It's about. Okay. I'll write it on the comment. Like I'll show you what Cake by the Ocean means. It's not about eating cake, surprisingly.
We know this,
Spoiler
but that
alert.
doesn't mean DJs don't use it all the time.
It's true because it has the word cake in it. What other like first dances? Ed Sheeran.
First dances have gotten a little more varied.
That's true. Especially it's more because it's about the couple.
And like their song.
Yeah.
I don't have any like big repeat ones I can think of. But the dance or the song from Dirty Dancing still gets used for the end of the night.
Or the Black Eyed Peas version of it.
Yes. A lot.
A lot, every time.
And there's a lot of groomsmen trying to catch other groomsmen in the air or like bring them up in the air.
It works every time.
Yep.
What other overused wedding songs? What other parts of it? But Garden Bouquet doesn't really happen. Single Ladies for the bouquet.
Bouquet toss, yep.
It's always Single Ladies.
And then I'm Too Sexy.
I'm Too Sexy. I was going to say the garter doesn't happen that much, but it's always I'm Too Sexy.
And they make him do like a strut walk.
Or it's the, what's that like? I don't even know the song, but it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Is it Genuine?
Oh, yes. I think it is Genuine.
I'm just a gangster. Yeah, it's Genuine. That song always.
Yeah.
But it's mostly,
one of those two.
But it's mostly I'm Too Sexy. Right Said Fred.
I feel like we still always hear like the usual line dances,
Oh, of course.
but
That's a given.
the wild one that is creeping back up is the Macarena.
It is. It has been coming back a lot.
Why? What happened on TikTok?
It's just a good song. Yeah, see, we just need to go on TikTok and find out.
I just assume anytime something has changed in the world, I assume it happened on TikTok and I just missed out.
Cha-cha slide, the wobble,
Cupid Shuffle.
Cupid shuffle. There's a what's the country version?
Oh, Cotton Eye
Cotton
Joe.
Joe.
Yeah, that's coming back a lot too.
Macarena a lot.
But yeah, I don't understand why the Macarena came back.
Hot to Go's coming. It's coming hard. You've seen that a lot now. Shout out Chapel Roan.
Yeah. But I still like that song. Like,
Yeah.
it's still like, well, it's current, so
Well,
it
in
should
20
be.
years when we're still shooting weddings,
And they're
maybe
still doing.
maybe not.
I just don't understand the Macarena.
Backstreet Boys.
Oh, yes.
Backstreet's back every time.
So-
It gets played more than NSYNC.
Yes.
Even though NSYNC is coming back with Bye 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 because of Deadpool.
Yes.
They're playing that more. But Backstreet's back. Every wedding.
I will never forget there was one wedding where the DJ was having like a little bit of a hard time trying to figure out the vibe of the group to like keep them on the dance floor, and then he played a Backstreet Boys song and everyone went nuts, and he's like, "Oh, I finally got it, like boy bands."
Yeah.
And then he played an NSYNC song and literally every single person left the
Oof.
dance floor.
You don't got it.
And they were like, "No, we don't listen to NSYNC." And he's like, "Okay, sorry."
I always go on the dance floor. I don't know why, but they're like, what's the song? It says like, I'm original? Yeah. Am I the only one?
Oh, yeah.
And it goes, am I sexual? And I always go, eh. I don't think if anyone ever sees me, but I'm always like, eh.
I can't believe I've never noticed that.
You'll see it next time I do it. I always go, eh.
Hopefully they'll play that on our next job together.
When is our next job together? If you have a super group full of white people like me, Mr. Brightside
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Every wedding.
brings it down. I mean, it's a great song. It is a banger.
It is.
Certified banger.
It's just bizarre. Sometimes my favorite thing to do is see what songs the like couple and the bridal party are flipping out over,
Yeah.
and then pull up my phone and figure out what year that song came out, and then figure out if they were alive when that
Correct.
song came out.
But then things like Low, like T-Pain, Lil Jon, Get Low, all those still. Nelly. It's getting hot in here. Like, everyone still knows them, and they still,
Yeah.
that's the drunk part of the night.
Yes. But again, why do they know this? How do they even know it?
Apple bottom jeans.
How? They
boots
weren't
with the
alive.
fur.
They're 20.
TikTok, I
They're
assume.
22. I know. It's our answer for everything.
Have we missed any songs? I feel like I'm sure we've missed them.
I'm sure we have. Oh, Garth Brooks. They still play that. Like Sweet Caroline and
Oh, Sweet Caroline.
Friends in Low Places.
Friends in Low. I haven't heard Garth Brooks in a while, but I'll allow it.
I feel like those.
But Sweet Caroline, all the time. That's usually near the end of the night when everyone's swaying back and forth.
And they're trying to like build up the dance floor to get back for the last song to like have everyone back on the floor. Get in some sing-alongs.
Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
Yes. That's another sing-along.
Queen, Don't Stop Me Now. Don't Stop Me Now.
This is not exactly the topic we were talking about, but I had one DJ who was like, I don't know what he was thinking, but he was like, watch this. I'm going to get everyone on the dance floor. And he played, to start the open dancing, like all 5 line dance songs back to back to back to back. And I was like, cool. Now no one's going to dance the rest of the night.
Yeah,
Have you done this before?
you blew your load too early.
And he was like showing off for me that he could get them on the dance floor. And I was like, of course the line dances, but you spread them out. So people leave the dance floor and then you get them back. And then they leave and then you get them back. Anyways, I get frustrated when I feel like I can do other vendors.
Well, let's leave and play
jobs.
out one of our favorite songs as we fade to black now. Very millennial feeling. Not for me, but you guys seem alright.